I wasn't aware of this trend. I actually told Mike that I thought he came up with "We Done Tonight." That's how much I don't get TikTok. That I had no idea.
I came up with it.
Oh,
yeah, go ahead.
We done with the 90s. Why are you mad? Why y'all so mad that? Listen, this is what's happening. TikTok, probably the newest piece of social media that is like the hottest piece of social media, like taking off. For years, people like Bang. People who fucking, worship Michael Jordan have said, oh, the 90s, that was the golden era of basketball. The defense was the best. Michael Jordan was fucking God. He killed it's like, all right, cool, man. This is what we got when we was like, nah, I think Bron the GOAT, blah, 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 blah. So now people are going back, looking at these fucking games, looking at the competition and being like, this shit is terrible. This is bad basketball. This is not elite guard play. This nigga Michael Jordan was literally the only cold nigga like that. It wasn't nobody. He didn't have like Bron got a KD. He ain't had none of that shit. None of it. And now everybody up in arms. It's like, bro, it's an overcorrection. That's what it is, bro. Like, motherfuckers are overcorrecting, and now they just calling out all the bullshit, and you motherfuckers hate it, bro. And I love the shit, bro. Because any motherfucker who go back and just watch them, I just told a motherfucker, bro, just go watch some of them old Bulls games. You're going to be like, this shit is huff. That shit is huff, bro. I will fucking take that to my grave. That basketball was fucking ass, bro. This nigga took 7 years to develop a left hand. If he was in the league in 2006 and Kobe Bryant was walking down that fucking tunnel and this nigga ain't have a left, he would die after golfing and smoking cigars before the fucking game. The stories that they used to tell, oh, he went and drank and golfed and gambled all day and came and dropped 50. You can do that in such an era. If fucking T-Mac was waiting on that nigga, that he's dying, bro. That's why niggas is done with the 90s. I love TikTok for that shit. Like, this shit got Jordan staying so upset. This nigga Jordan put in a call to the White House. He trying to get TikTok banned.
So Jordan's the reason.
Nasty, dog. It's nasty, bro. I've never seen this shit in my life, dog.
So Jordan put in a call to get this
100%.
Not giving false information about the election, but Michael Jordan called the Senate like, yo, y'all need to get rid of this.
We gotta stop this shit.
Yo, I'm gonna let Bang tackle this, man. Go
Bang.
Ahead, man.
What's up?
Bang ain't in this shit.
No, Bang, Bang, come on.
No, Bang ain't in this shit.
No, Bang.
And I said what I said then. You ain't even never watched a Mitch Richmond game in your life.
Nigga, defend the 90s.
You defend the 90s. I ain't about to defend a whole goddamn day. I defend Saved by the Bell, nigga. I'll defend Martin, nigga. I'll defend the Living Color.
Martin, y'all miss $1 gas. Y'all miss fucking Jodeci. And y'all niggas actually.
I don't miss Jodeci. I can go listen to Jodeci right now.
You know what the funny shit about all
No, Scott. You know what the funny thing, Mike? You know what the funny thing is? What I love about this era now is YouTube. All this shit's gonna be here forever. Yeah. And what's gonna happen is my son, who's 9 years old right now, when he gets 30, he's going to be looking at YouTube and he's going to be looking at this NBA and he's going to be like, this shit's ass. But he's also going to be looking at your ass, Dan, defend this shit. Like, man, who the hell is this big ass dude right here talking about all this shit ass? That's what's going to happen.
I'm not one of these.
That's what's going to happen. You know what I think is ass? You know what I think is ass, Dan? A lot of shit that I saw in the 70s too. Why? Because I didn't grow up in that era. You didn't really grow up in that era. So I totally get it and I totally understand it.
Can I?
No, hear me out. No, hear me out. He ain't really grew up in that era. He ain't really grew up in that era. He an old nigga that's trying to see. He's an old nigga that's trying to hoop with the little niggas. He's the old nigga that go to the old nigga that go to the gym and try to talk shit about the old niggas so he can be cool with the little niggas. That's what Dan is. Dan, I know we the same age. But you know what? I ain't out here trying to be cool with these little niggas.
Not either.
That's your ass.
So I'm trying to be cool because
he's Steven Jackson. He's Steven Jackson going to O Block. Dan is Steven Jackson. Dan is Steven Jackson going to O Block talking about fuck these old niggas.
Almost every other day, Mike.
Fuck these old niggas. Fuck these old niggas.
What do I say about O Block, G? Almost every other day, Mike. What do I say about O Block?
burn that shit down.
I want that shit closed.
And I'm waiting for your picture in front of the King Von.
Nigga, my building in Oak-Block. My building in Woodline. I need that shit closed down.
Oh, you just need that shit for monetary reasons, nigga. Because you want to be better in life. Because you want to be.
I want them to tear down Oak-Block and build.
You wanted to expand your horizons, nigga.
The one thing about the one thing we done about the 90s shit, this was on damn side of it that makes more sense. You know, it started. We done with the 80s first. That trend was going for a minute.
Yeah.
It didn't piss people off. It did. They talked about they was killing Larry Bird. They was killing Magic.
Because them niggas are old. And look, Mike, because the niggas that was watching the shit ain't on TikTok.
Yeah, but they was killing James Worthy. And then he went from the 80s and then said, as soon as he said the 90s, it went to shit. You can't talk about Michael Jordan. That shit was like, I'm like, they really cooked the 80s more than they did the 90s. They was talking
now
about
they cooking the fuck out of the 90s.
But then, but also
can't wait till they cook Vince Carter ass.
You can clip shit. You can clip shit. You can clip shit. You know what I'm saying? It's not a whole game. Like,
hold on, Mike. Mike. Because you was talking. Hold on for a second. Because you was talking. I'm gonna say this again, and I want to hear Dan's reaction again. I can't wait till they cook Vince Carter's ass.
Cool,
bro. You think Vince?
No, they gonna cook his ass. They gonna do the 2000s. They gonna cook Vince Carter ass.
They are not. They are not. They cooking the right hand bandit. That's who they cooking.
Hold on. In 10, 15
years,
they cooking the right hand bandit.
15 years when you got little niggas putting up Wemby highlights, talking about y'all niggas thought LeBron better than this. And they gonna pull up footage of him getting cooked by JJ Barea.
Them hooping with each other. Hit the same way.
It's the
circle
footage
of them hooping together. That fucking gambling addict ran out of Dodge when LeBron was getting ready to come into the fucking league, bro. Stop it. It don't translate. You can't look at the 2000s and then look at the 90s and say that's a similar type of It's not, nigga.
Everything is bad.
You wait a minute. You right, because scoring went down. Like the scoring went down. Right, the scoring went down. Yeah. All this shit that they doing now because the 2000s was ass.
The 5-year period from Mike's second retirement and LeBron came in is some of the worst basketball I've ever seen in my life. That shit was terrible.
Have you seen that shit from the 90s? Have you?
Yes.
The 90s is not bad.
To disagree with your point, there are people on there watching. There are people. Listen, to disagree with your point, Mike. There's niggas on there watching whole games, Michael Jordan games. It was like game 1 of the 91 finals, right? And they did a fucking flow chart. How many times this nigga went right? How many times he went left? When he went right, what happened? When he went left, what happened? That motherfucker was like 15% going left. It was either
one of the best players in the NBA right now is Jaylen Brown, and that nigga is the same motherfucking way.
Exactly. And that's why they also call that nigga Bald Jaylen Brown on TikTok. That's exactly why they call him that.
And they say that the nigga is what? And they also say the nigga is what?
They call him the right hand bandit. Bald Jaylen Brown, bro. That's what they call him.
And they also call this nigga an MVP candidate. So at the end of the day, it's like, all right, stop the shit. Candidate. Stop the shit.
Jaylen Brown?
Jaylen Brown.
I didn't say that motherfucker was. I said they also said that this nigga's a late entry in the MVP candidate.
Get the fuck out of here, man.
Hey, I didn't say the shit. Wait a minute. I'm not saying the shit. But the nigga that went on the little streak and shit, and all of a sudden, this nigga's an MVP candidate. So we talk shit about him. We should talk a couple of weeks ago. We talked shit about fucking Jason Tatum and all this shit. We've talked about all this shit about all of these players, but now we talking about how the 90s was whack. We doing the same shit.
Nigga.
And Orlando, yes, them huff ass thousands Pistons.
That goes back to my point.
Niggas in 2002 was watching games that was 68-57.
If you drop Vince Carter,
the Pistons
any of them niggas from the 2000s,
11 games, that's bad basketball.
That's bad basketball.
Dog.
That's bad basketball.
So if that's bad basketball, then in the 90s was good basketball. Joe Dumars and Hershey Hawkins.
I'm not saying I'm not propping up this era of 152, 120. You know, niggas not even giving a fuck. It's the thing, but it's not the actual trend. I don't give a fuck about the trend. I don't care what little niggas say.
That's because you're not on TikTok. It's not little. It's not just
You
like
hit his nigga.
old.
You hit his old nigga. Because that's because you're not on TikTok. Because you're not on TikTok. My father looking at this shit right now. That's the shit my father say. Oh, you didn't see the latest trend? Because nigga, you ain't on TikTok.
They think TikTok is
TikTok's whole thing.
I'm sorry.
I get it.
Facebook is y'all holy grail.
I don't be on Facebook
have to go
either.
past that shit, bro.
I don't be on Facebook either. I stay away from Facebook, except for the people who watch this shit on Facebook. Shout out to y'all. But
right, that was stupid.
Yeah, shout out to y'all who watch on Facebook. No offense.
Michael Jordan has never been this. His public opinion has never been this low. I'm just gonna leave it at that. That nigga got real motherfuckers. Like he got like motherfuckers on his head. Vince Carter highlights. Vince Carter will go back in the 90s and be fucking God. Like that nigga will jump.
Vince Carter got drafted in the 90s.
Literally, listen, this is how fucked up that era was.
You talking about his prime.
Yeah, listen. This nigga Michael Jordan did a behind the back, right? He fucking wrapped the ball behind his back and caught it with his right hand. The announcer said, I don't know what I just saw Michael Jordan do. Oh my God. Yeah, I threw my fucking phone, bro. I threw my fucking phone. You can't tell me that's good basketball, bro. You can't tell me a nigga's going to rap is good basketball. Stop.
Bro, you haven't. How many games do you watch now? Like dead ass. The product is damn near unwatchable right now. The individual talent is at its highest, but the game stinks right now.
But the players are better. No. I don't like to watch these niggas shoot three. Like I said, when Brown retired, I want to be a casual. Yeah. I will not be into the NBA like that. However, them niggas is going back and cooking Hershey Hawkins and Joe Dumars. I'm sorry. They cooking the fuck out.
Richmond.
Donovan Mitchell is cooking Mitch Richmond. Stop it, bro.
Donovan Mitchell can't even cook Jalen Brunson. Donovan Mitchell can't even cook Jalen Brunson.
Hey, I told Pabby, 16-year-old LeBron is baking Reggie Miller. I cannot stand Reggie Miller.
I want to see if we can get 1,000 people watching right now before we log off, because we almost there, man. Like, this is what I say. To me, it's the fucking because we got to wrap up in a minute because Dante got going. We got to start the Patreon show. But I would say this: to me, it's the evolution of things, man. It's everything is going to get better. There's going to be a point right now where talent-wise, do I think talent-wise right now is more talent individually than the 90s? Yes. But I'm not the actual gameplay fucking stinks, bro. Like, and if we're gonna use hypotheticals of this player will go into this era and dominate, you don't think that players who are great there with the regimens they have now would be just as great
I
or
think
even
be
better?
Good, but I don't think your average nigga in the 90s could be in the NBA. Like, I'm not saying that Reggie Miller and Mitch Richmond and Michael Jordan and Scottie and all these motherfuckers aren't talented. I think any talented player can play any era, Larry Bird, Magic included. What I'm saying is, if you put them in certain eras, all that shit, that magical shit Michael Jordan is doing today, that's Malik Monk on a random Wednesday night against them. All this shit, wrap around, we see it, bro. Listen to me.
You ain't never seen Malik Monk do one of the reverse layups that Mike did that year. You ain't never seen Malik Monk do that.
You're lying, Scott.
You ain't never seen Malik Monk do that.
No, first of all, when Mike did that reverse layup, Mike should have dunked it. He was wilding. Mike should have just dunked it. Like, there was no point. I never understood that play. He went up and then switched that.
He was stunned. He was stunned.
That was flex. But Malik Monk poke shit. Pause.
All the time.
Pause. That was crazy.
Nigga, Zach LaVine. Send Zach LaVine to the 1985 dunk contest. That nigga he's being arrested for witchcraft, bro. They're gonna be like, what the fuck are we looking at?
Zach LaVine also getting locked up.
They sending that nigga to the Vatican, like, yo, he got the devil in him or some shit. I've never seen.
Because he wouldn't do that in 1985, nigga. It's a different era.
We're picking up players and dropping them into
Oh my God.
That's what I'm saying, bro. You can't tell motherfuckers what they eyes see, bro. How you gonna tell me?
Said Malik Monk.
Dog,
that shit was
come on, that shit is coming, bro. All the shit is that nigga's entire highlight tape. Role players do that shit now, bro. Role fucking players. All that shit. All that shit.
Now. Everyone's athletic, yeah.
Yeah. So stop telling me. So stop telling me Hershey Hawkins would be guarded fucking Jason Tatum or Joe Dumars.
This nigga named the most random ass because Last week, this nigga fucked up by saying Mitch Richmond. Now this nigga just naming the most random ass NBA player to make sure his point is right. The next week they ain't gonna bring this shit up and he gonna be like Dana Barros, like nigga, who are we talking about here, nigga? Vincent Askew, like nigga, who the fuck is we talking about? James Edwards would not do anything in his era, nigga. We know. We're not talking about Hershey Hawkins. We're not talking about these niggas.
That's his competition.
Like we not talking about these niggas.
And that motherfucker,
this nigga just naming them. This nigga naming the most random ass. It's like it's like your ass went back and got some hoops cards and was like, "Yo, I'm gonna name Liddell Eccles, my nigga." Like,
you don't have posters of this nigga, bro. If you look at these niggas, G,
Joe Ingles cooked Paul George, so I know he cooking Larry Bird. That shit was hilarious. That shit was funny.
That shit's funny. But Joe Ingles is the all-time leading scorer at Export Fitness history. Like that nigga's the all-time scorer at Export Fitness history, nigga.
Oh man, let's we gotta wrap this.
Hey,
up,
but Scott, before you wrap it up, Dan, I need your help here. Okay. If we gonna do this, fam, don't just name a random ass NBA player. Like, don't go in your basketball card book and like, yo, I'm gonna name this NBA player today. Like, this nigga's like Charles Shackelford would never be anything in the NBA.
Bro, I'm naming niggas that he's seen on a random night, G. That's not the league anymore, G.
Oh my God, I love you, Dan. I love you. You make my blood pressure.
Was worried about Joe Dumars that night.
Dan, you make my blood pressure raise, but it's good for good content, nigga.
That's what the truth does.
We had 1,000. Hey, we had 1,000.
Wait, what'd you say, Mike?
1K.
Hey, you saw that crossover AI did to Michael Jordan? If Derrick Rose do that, he fucking Mike up, G. Mike's falling, G. Mike falling, Derrick Rose.
Nigga.
He falling, bro.
Kimball Walker is making that nigga do the fucking Harlem Shake, bro. Kimball Walker, Darren Williams, any nigga with a basic, Malik Monk got bounced, bro. All that shit, that nigga be doing all that shit. I'm like, G, what the fuck? I'm supposed to believe a gambling addict. Niggas can't do that shit. Stop it, bro.
I'm really looking forward to see what the Instagram and YouTube comments will say about this when I clip this up next this week.
Sherman Douglas is not doing anything in his era, fam.
You're always making me look like I'm evil and I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about.
Sherman Douglas is not doing.
You gotta give me my due, bro.
Ronnie Cycli ain't doing nothing in his era, Dan. You're right. You're right. Ronnie Cycli is not doing anything in his era.
Why don't you talk about the niggas that he's seen on
Derek Coleman is whacking his era, fam. I
DC was
Stephon Marbury fucking Gary Payton up though.
Hey man, don't even bring up Gary Payton, G. Now we're going too far. All right. In the segment, fam. In the segment. Now we're going too far. We're gonna fight now.